Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel again. So today we are making the Kachapuri, which is the Georgian cheese bread. As you can see, this is an easy recipe. We use 1 tablespoon of sugar and a packet of yeast, and we are now gonna mix it. It's really easy, so my niece is also helping me to do this, and my sister-in-law is here as well. We are all making it together because it's a fun recipe to make. So you just add some water to the yeast and sugar and mix it well. Just give it a good mix. You then keep the yeast aside in a dark, warm place so that it can multiply, and then after 15 minutes, this is how it looks. The next step is to add the yeast mixture to the flour, and we give this a good mix, so make sure you mix it well. Then we add the milk and continue mixing it well. You can use your hands as well to mix it. Just make sure your hands are washed. My niece is doing it and she really enjoyed mixing this. You can see her actually doing this, so it's a really fun activity to do even with kids. You know, if you involve them in cooking, they get more interested in eating stuff as well. We give it a good mix again, and at this stage we also add the water. So add water and knead again and mix it well again. At this stage then we mix it again, and you can see it's got a good consistency. We then add a teaspoon of salt as well and give it a good mix again. You can add some extra flour at this stage if it's too sticky at your hands, so just add some extra flour and knead it again. So the longer you knead it for, the better it is, because it helps the flour to get a nice soft consistency. So knead it for as long as you can, like 15-20 minutes, and it will give you a good texture. After we are done with kneading the flour, or we have to just check that it's nice and soft, and then we also add a little bit of oil, which you will see us do now, like 1 tablespoon of oil. Just add that to the kneaded flour and give it a good knead again one last time. So you will see us doing that now. And once we knead it well, we then keep it aside in a warm, dark place. Just cover it and keep it aside. So that's what we are doing now. A couple of hours should be good. So while the yeast is working its magic on the flour, we get to grating some cheese. We are using the red Leicester here. In fact, we are using 3 types of cheese: the red Leicester, then we have the cheddar cheese, and you can see you need quite a bit of cheese for this recipe, like given in the ingredients in the description box. And then we are also using some feta cheese. You can use mozzarella cheese as well. Actually, this recipe needs proper Georgian cheese, but we couldn't find that here, so we're just gonna use a mix of the cheeses that we have. They also use the Georgian cheese, which is soft, and a couple of varieties of them. We are using 3 different varieties here. You grate it and then you give it a good mix. So this is the mixture. Then we start working with the flour. You basically take the dough and you put some flour on a worktop and knead it slightly again. Ideally, it's best to leave the dough to proof for about 2 hours, but we are doing it after an hour. But if you have more time, it's better to leave it for 2 hours. It rises even more. And then basically we just knead it more, and after the kneading is done, we just cut them into the portions that we need. So from this one we are going to make about 6 kachapuris, so that's what we are doing. We will just cut them into 6 portions. You can see that here. And then once we cut them into portions, we just roll them into the flour again. And after that, we start to roll them out. Basically, you just take the rolling pin and roll them out into oval shapes, as much as oval as possible, and then you flatten out the edges and then start shaping them into boat shaped. So you will see that after we flatten it out, we now begin to shape them, and they have to be into boat shaped shapes because that's how the kachapuri is. So there you go, we shape them out outwards to the center, and you can see the kachapuri looks lovely. You do this with all the remaining portions as well. Just roll them out like this into boat shapes, and do this with all the remaining portion that you had as well. And then we place them on a baking tray that has been dusted with some flour. So we just place them on the baking tray. We are using 2 baking trays, so we are dusting the other baking tray as well with some flour, and we will go on to place the kachapuris on them as well, as you can see. And then we begin to stuff the kachapuris with the cheese mixture. So be generous and stuff them with the cheese mixture. It is a total delight for cheese lovers and really amazing. It has a very rich flavor. So yes, we just stuff them with the cheese mixture. You continue to do this with all the kachapuris. So just basically repeat the process and stuff each one of them generously with cheese, and maybe just press down on the cheese so that it remains well in the dough. So we do the same to the remaining as well. Place them all on the other baking tray and repeat the process. Basically start stuffing the cheese again in these as well. And this is how they look once they are all done. You leave some space in the center if possible, and there you go, they look lovely. We then are going to bake these, so it has to go in the oven at 180 degrees for 35 minutes. So put them in the oven, and once they are in the oven, we get them out after 30 minutes. And this is the interesting part now. We crack open an egg in the center of each one. So you get them out from the oven, make some space with a spoon in the center, and then crack open an egg in each one of them. It just gets better. You do the same with all the remaining ones as well. So this happens about 5 minutes before the total baking is completed. So 30 minutes after they have been put in, we take them out and crack open an egg in the center. And then they go in again. They go in again, and you also put a dollop of butter on either sides of the kachapuri just to give them a rich taste. And you cook them for about 5 to 10 minutes till the egg whites are cooked. Doesn't take long, and they're gonna be ready soon, and you will see them. Just put the dollop of butter on all the kachapuris, and there you go, they are ready. Absolutely yummy. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.